Hello, guys. Welcome to iOracle Education. Today we're going to talk about a cell, mainly a eukaryotic cell, and the contents it has, and briefly discuss their function. So, as you can see in this picture, this is a eukaryotic cell, and so it has a plasma membrane. Now, the plasma membrane is critical for every cell because it protects the cell from outside attacks and also is a barrier. Barrier means material comes in and out of the cell through plasma membrane. So there's whole lot of biology and chemistry involved in the structure of a plasma membrane. We will discuss that in the near future. And the next content of the very important component of the cell is the nucleus. And nucleus is generally, it contains DNA. Okay, that's what a nucleus is known for. And it has a central portion called nucleolus. So this is nucleus altogether from this black circle all the way here, all the way here. It's all nucleus. So it has a nucleolus. That's the central structure which is known for creating initial part of the ribosomes. And we will discuss more about ribosomes, what are they, and also another structure it contains is chromatin. Chromatin is basically a DNA. As you can see, how this structure is pretty much tangled, is like not in a affirmative shape. So when it's like shrinked in this kind of a fashion, DNA is called chromatin. So basically, it's all DNA. So and we know that DNA has genes in it, and genes are the traits that be transferred from the parent to offspring. And as you see, when you see children and their grandchildren, and so sometimes these traits pass from grandparent to their grandkids. For example, color of the eyes, and texture of the hair, height, weight of a person. They all are hereditary information stored in DNA. So next component of the cell we're going to talk about is endoplasmic reticulum. Um, First we talk about rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough means it has these small little spots right here, like black spots right there. These are ribosomes attached to this endoplasmic reticulum. This red shape, and it is also attached to this nuclear membrane. So what happens is, like, when messages come from the nucleus and they are transferred to endoplasmic reticulum, and these ribosomes that are attached to the surface of this endoplasmic reticulum, they play part in producing proteins. So that's the function of the ribosomes. So these ribosomes, like I show you right here, attached to this endoplasmic reticulum, which is a pink shaped structure right here. So together they help in forming proteins that are needed for various function of a cell, and collectively for the body. And next structure we're going to talk about in a cell is intermediate filaments. These are the structure, as you see how they stretch along the cell like this, and they maintain the integrity of the cell and the shape so that it would not collapse or not compromised. So that's the main function of intermediate filaments. So next structure similar to intermediate filaments is microtubules. They are generally in a tube-like structures. They are helpful in the division of the cell. So they kind of stretch the cell when there is a need for the cell to divide. They stretch the cell and helps in division of the cell from the middle of the cell. So we will discuss more when we talk about in the near lectures that how that all this process occurs. And vacuoles are mainly used for storage. They have a lot of functions. We can talk about that later, but mainly storage. And mitochondria is very important because this one produce energy. So energy needed for the cell and collectively for the body. So whenever whatever the activity we're doing right now, as I'm speaking, moving, and walking, talking, running, or sleeping, mitochondria is the one produces that energy that we need to do all these functions. So that's just the brief, and there's a whole lot of science how that occurs within the structure of the mitochondria, and we will discuss that more. And lysosomes are the next structure, are important in a sense they collect debris. So they are small little particles here and there in the cell. They are collectively collected by the lysosomes, and the enzymes within the lysosomes consume it, and those waste particles. And secretory vehicles is the next important component of the cell. Anything that needs to be get out of the cell, these secretory vehicles are very very helpful. What happens is they make a little bit of that structure like this out of from the plasma membrane, and the stuff goes in there, and suddenly they take off, and like this structure right here. So they split off from the plasma membrane, and move to the uh, um, other part of the structure, where the cell is present, and probably take message to other cells, and to the other part of the body. So basically, this is the basic structure of a cell, which is a eukaryotic cell. We'll talk about other type of cell like prokaryotic, and we'll discuss more in detail what's the difference between prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell is more complex, so that's why I decided to talk about them more often, because this is the cell our body is made of. So that is it from IR called Education on Cell Introduction, and I'll see you guys in our next chapter, in describing individual part of the cell and how it functions.